Hey, shalom, shalom. Kahalayim la Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Harachakodash Wa Mashna Kabadim Zakwanim Nawashal Yasha Allah Wa Shalom Wa Chasala B'chaya Shalom. Alright, so all praise to the Most High Yahweh Yahushua. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Israel, who are the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the elect. Alright, so this is just an article on it says NOQ report. Alright, it says mass murder is just one sign of the systemic collapse of Western society. More hunger, violence, debt, and destruction yet to come. Alright, so let's get a couple precepts. Alright, this is Ezekiel chapter 12 and chapter 12 and verse 22. It says start from verse 21. It says, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel, saying, the days are prolonged and every vision faileth? Hey, so it's a saying, amongst the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Israelite foreigners, saying basically, hey, the things that the Lord had prophesied to happen, they're basically saying it's not going to happen. They're saying that the Lord's bluffing, They're saying that the Lord grew soft, Verse 23, it says, tell them, therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel. But say unto them, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision. What would the Lord say? Let's get it. This is Malachi chapter 3 and verse 6. It says, for I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. So the Lord don't change. He the same power. He the same power he was. He's the same power he was in the ancient world. Who they knew as Alashadya, which was a demon-like power. But let me go back. Ezekiel chapter 12. Chapter 12 and verse 22. Because the Lord ain't changed, I'm going to run it back. It says, Ezekiel 12 and 22, it says, Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel, saying, the days are prolonged and every vision faileth? That's a spirit of 2/3. They're like, man, that's going to happen in my children's generation. It's going to be in my grandchildren's generation, Nah. Verse 23, tell them, therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I will make this proverb to cease. Hey, the Lord's causing it to cease, man. Ain't no more talking, It ain't no more talking. We seeing it. It says, and they shall no more use it as a proverb. People not using it no more because the end is manifest. It's obvious. We seeing the signs, we seeing the prophecies, we seeing the visions. It says, but say unto them, the days are at hand. Hey, Barak, how about Shemel Shah? We living in those days. The days are at hand, and the effect of every vision. And we seeing the effect of every vision. They say that 60% of people is poor, 20% is living paycheck to paycheck. We seeing the effect of every vision. Which is only going to increase. It ain't no stopping. The train keep going, so to speak. It's gonna keep going. Cause they say that gas is gonna get to gas at what, average of 4.40. They say it's gonna get to 6. And some reports saying it's gonna get to $10. It's gonna double. So ain't nobody gonna be ain't gonna be no hot girl summers. Ain't nobody gonna be going to a club. Man, you stay your ass at home. Ain't nobody gonna be traveling nowhere. And people more than likely, they ain't got no jobs. So, and don't nobody really work out. So, and ain't nobody trying to walk. So they gonna be going from house to house, like in the second Ezra chapter 16. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. All right, but let's keep going. I'll go back to that article. It says It says the realization is hitting home for many people that the crises now hitting the U.S. are not simply one-off events. The infant formula shortage, outage, rising fuel prices, supply chain collapse, authoritarian censorship, and now a wave of mass shootings over the weekend, they all point to a systemic collapse of Western society as a whole. All right. So I got a precept. This is Second Ezra, chapter 16 and 39. All right, and it reads, it says, even so shall the plagues. Well, let me go back. All right, it says, this is Second Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 37 says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. All right, so what the Lord say? The Lord say, the effect of every vision is here. Roughly paraphrasing, so we seeing it. So the days are at hand. The plagues are here. Again, everybody's feeling it. And they not slack, and then they not gonna lose. They not gonna be slack. It's gonna keep going and going and going and going. The Lord say He don't get tired. He don't get weary. So look, the plagues is coming, man. They gonna keep going. All right, going back to this article. It says the realization is hitting home for many people that the crises now hitting the U.S. are not simply one-off events. The infant formula outage, rising fuel prices, supply chain collapse, authoritarian censorship, and now a wave of shootings over the weekend. They all point to the systemic collapse of Western society as a whole. Hey, so they tried to, use alternative formula, which them formulas is causing other adverse effects. Rising fuel prices. For a good little while, gas was maybe $1 cheaper, down to like $3.60, which is still kind of expensive. But no, it ain't help. It's then rolls back up. Supply chain collapse. Supplies are still limited. It's being rationed out. Authoritarian censorship. Hey, so things is being censored. But you had to do. Musk, he said that he bought Twitter to allow freedom of speech, but nah. It's all going along according to the Lord's plan, which he's using the Esau Edom on the left-hand side. All right, this is Jared. I wanted to go to Jeremiah. That's about it on the article. I'm just going to get some precepts. This is Jeremiah 51 and 9. All right, because they doing all these things to try to revamp Babylon. But it's not working. It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. It says, forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. All right. So if Babylon was supposed to survive, it would have been revived, but obviously everything that they're doing is not going to bring it back. Sanctions, avoiding the truth, doing that censorship, all that's not going to work, man. The Lord strategically taking down Babylon, because you go to Revelation 18, and even in this verse, her sins reached up to the skies, man. All right. That's why the Lord say to his people, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, man. Because it's for it will lead to your destruction. Roughly paraphrasing, it says, this is Isaiah 36 and 6. Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt. So 2/3 trust on captivity. They trust on oppression. Whereon if a man lean, when you lean on something, you're using it because you're staying on it, you're relying on it, and you're looking for it for help. If you lean on something, you want them to hold you up. Which that's idolatry in itself. But you want them to hold you up. It says, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand, that charagma, and pierce it. Because they come in with that charagma. It says, so is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. If you trust into this to this man's system, he gonna pierce your hand, All right. I'm gonna go to Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn, So everything in Babylon is corrupt. If you go to their science, their education, the whole system, the people, everything is at the lowest state and the lowest possible vibration. So the earth is mourning because the wicked is in rulership. All right. The wicked is in rulership. And also in that article, it said something about the money failing. You can't, the money has no purchasing power. All right. This is Genesis 47:15. It says, when the money failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth. Man, what we see, the money is failing, man. You can barely get any gas for the amount of money that you got. Same thing with the food. And from those two things going up, everything is a domino effect. So all the money is going up, so what you gonna have? Just like I quoted earlier, you're gonna have people going from house to house looking for supplies and chiefly food, man. They're gonna be chiefly looking for food because they're not gonna be working, so they're gonna be out here getting it how they live. But the economic system is failing, which this is ancient Egypt, but this is in modern day Egypt, the latter version of Egypt 2.0. The dollar doesn't have any purchasing power. Nobody wants to work. That's why Rome went down, because they didn't have anybody. They didn't have lower class workers allowing the society or allowing the economy to flow. So all this is going to lead to chaos, and them further pushing the new world order, because everybody's going to be begging for a way out, But see, also in the article, it said that they got the baby formula, baby formula shortage going on. You got the wars, rumors of wars, pestilence, the monkeypox, that's back out. All this stuff is being thrown out in the media, which is prophecy, by doing all that, by pushing everything out there and saying it how they want to, how they using the propaganda, making seem as things is going to keep going. They're keeping the people's eyes, they're giving them hope. You know what I'm saying? They're giving them hope, and at the same time, they keeping their eyes off of what they truly got going on. So this is Matthew chapter 6. It's Matthew chapter 6, verse 22. It says, the light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? So Esau has the masses tripped up into folly, while he's doing his wickedness in the background, because he feel like his NWO is going to work, But nevertheless, he wants the sheeple to be immersed in wickedness, because he feel like that's going to work in his favor, by having them distracted, All right, and I want to get Proverbs chapter 7 and verse 27. All right, because this place is headed to collapse. It says, her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death, So Babylon the Great, their customs is a sure ticket down to death, to inherit worms and dust, because the customs of this place deserve death. It's totally adverse to the ways of the scriptures. All right. And this is Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 5. Well, matter of fact, I'm going to get Ecclesiastes first. This is Ecclesiastes 12. And we'll start at verse 1. It says, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. All right, so you got to remember the Lord before everything, before the bad times come. When you got a chance to repent, because there is going to come times where it's much tribulation, and you're going to want someone to defend you and get you out of those harsh times. All right, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the keepers of the house go into the different economists, those that look after basically the country. All right. And the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Because the place ain't got no future. If you go back to that article, it said that they have nothing to look forward to but collapse. Because it ain't no hope for this place, man. It's going down. Which leads me to the next scripture. It's Ezekiel 7 and verse 5. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, power and evil, and only evil, behold, is come. And end is come, and end is come. It watcheth for thee, behold, it is come." And the end is here. The end is come. The plagues are here. They are not slack. Roughly paraphrasing, we living in it. Which is only going to increase and get worse from this point. All right. It's only going to get worse from this point. All right. But the article also said basically all this is strategically planned by Esau Edom, which it is planned by Esau Edom on the left hand side. But this is Micah 2 and 1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand." All right. So again, all this is being placed into fruition by Esau Edom on the left hand side. They got the power to do these things, and they're doing it so that people can succumb to their new world order. But the Lord is going to severely punish Esau Edom for everything that he's doing, chiefly because of what he did to the tribes. That's why I say woe to them that devise iniquity. How much more, or who devises iniquity the most? The worst of the heathen, Esau Edom, the so-called white man. All right. So I also want to grab Revelation chapter 6 and verse 6. It says, "And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine." So this is ultimately getting into rations. All right. Because you got sanctions and you got famines going on right now, because all this is leading to rationing the food, So the future is looking very grim for America. Well, really the whole world, but really, really grim for America, because the food is eventually going to run out. And what that mean? It's going to lead back to cannibalism, And again, it's being led by Esau Edom, the elites on the left hand side, but eventually it's going to be taken out of their hands. It's going to get real bad out here, And they gonna have to flee to them bunkers. This is Revelation 13 and 16. It says, "And he causeth all," because this is where it's headed to. I'm gonna start in verse 15. It says, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast," going into that system, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So he had the power to bring the things into fruition on the left hand side to go into the system. All right. It says should both speak. All right. And that system, or the beast, is speaking through the different policies and the legislations that they pushing. All right. Which we can see that is leading up to that. It says, "And cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed." So those that don't want to get along with the program, those that don't bow the knee to Baal, those people are going to be killed. Which, some brothers are going to have to, some of us going to have to be, martyrs. All right. Verse 16, "And he causeth all, both small and great," those that are insignificant in this society, those that are significant in this society, rich and poor, there's those that got money, those that don't have any money, homeless, free and bond, those that are not in captivity, so to speak, and those that are in bondage, in literal jails, so to speak, to receive a mark in their charagma, in their right hand or in their foreheads, which you can get it anywhere. If you subscribe to this idol, you get what's in Revelation 14. It says, "And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name." All right, so this is going to, you're not going to be able to do any type of commerce, any type of, you're not going to be able to operate in this society unless you got that charagma. All right. And that's what it's heading to, because the dollar is eroding. So they need a new system. You know, that's why I say Isaiah 36:6, you know, if a man lean on the staff of this broken reed, you know, it'll lean into his hand and pierce it, you know, roughly paraphrasing. Because that's literally what's going to happen if you keep trusting in this system. All right. And I got two more. This is Jeremiah 49 and verse 7. It says, concerning Edom, because inside that article it also said that basically the fucking basically said that they're coming up with irrational type of solutions, you know. And that's because of this. This is Jeremiah 49 and 7. It says, concerning Edom, you so-called white people. All right. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? You know, because it say that, roughly paraphrasing, that Esau was wiser than Daniel, you know, in his time. Is their wisdom vanished? You know? And the Lord taking away their so-called wisdom. All right. It's right here. It says, Jeremiah 49 and 10. All right. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret place, because before, you know, the nigga was hiding, you know, but he being exposed, he can no longer cover up his tracks, man. Everybody, you know, they seeing him for who he truly is, man. They seeing him for the devil, you know. I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. You know, he's brought to nothing. He's brought to naught. All right. Yeah, he's brought to nothing. He can no longer hide in those demons. Those demons are no longer communicating like they used to with him. All right. That sorcery, all the prognosticators, you know, the witchcraft, this shit ain't working no more. You know. Slop. All right, I'm gonna go to my it's my last precept. Yeah, this is Second Ezra. The Second Ezra, chapter 15. Second Ezra 15 and verse 19. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. And that's where we headed. You know, we coming up into those times where there's so much stuff going on that people are going to start to raid each other's houses. And when they done raiding the houses, when there's no more goods left, they can start eating each other, you know. And that's the future of America, Babylon the Great. You know, so Abaratazada was edifying. Go ahead, close it out by saying, call Halayim La, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah Ba'ashim Kakdash. Shalom.